Welcome back, dear students. Let us discuss the next topic of atoms and molecules. In the previous video, we have discussed only introduction, what is atom, how they are represented, those things we have done. Now, the next topic is laws of chemical combinations. Laws of chemical combinations. Students, as I told you, as you know, the atoms are the smallest particle or the smallest unit which take part in the chemical reaction. Okay. So atoms are the elements which actually combines during reactions to form the products and to form the certain things. Okay. So there are certain laws. How do they combine? What is the rules to combine? Okay. So it is the basis of the modern chemistry, the laws of chemical combinations. This law has been given by the scientist named Antoine L. Lavoisier and Joseph L. Proust. Basically by Lavoisier it is given and the next law is given by the Proust. Okay. So first law is what? Law of conservation of mass or matter. Next is law of constant proportion and the third is law of multiple proportion. And in your syllabus, we need only these two laws. This third law we'll discuss in class 11th. Okay. So let us have these two. So first law we will discuss it first, thereafter the second one. Law of conservation of mass. Students, you must have studied about the conservation of energy. That means energy is conserved. Only it can change its forms to one form into another form. So many types of energy are there. Electrical energy, wind energy, tidal energy, light energy, sound energy, so many energies. So all these energies are being transferred from one form into another. It can neither be created nor be destroyed. Energy in the nature, it is conserved, okay, as a whole. Similarly, for the matter also it is true. Matter or mass, you say. Mass means the law is about mass. So we have to discuss about matter. Students, suppose this is the mud or the soil. Okay. You put a seed over here inside the soil. You put water, sunlight, these things, and manure, chlorophyll, all these things it utilizes finally to become a tree. Now this is the condition where the seed grows into a big tree. Suppose this seed you are keeping inside of your room and there is no sunlight and you are not giving any water to that seed. Does that seed will grow up into a tree? Not at all. Okay. So it needs, this is a matter, this is also a matter, which needs the external force or the external energy. That means this manure, water, sunlight, so many things it needs and change it into finally a tree. So here this matter has changed into another matter, that is a tree. Tissue, cell, so many things are there in the tree. Okay. So this is one example. One more example let us take out. When you fire a cracker or you burn a page or a paper, okay, so what do you think? You have destroyed that cracker? You have destroyed that paper? No, not at all. When you burn a cracker, suppose you have burned a light, that rocket. Rocket goes up, produce spark, produce pollution, produce sound. Okay, so many things it gives after burning. So you have not destroyed at all the cracker, that is your rocket. Okay, it has changed its forms from one matter into another matter. Okay, that spark is that another matter, that pollution is that another matter, that sound is also a matter. You know that I told you all the 5 elements of nature are matter, comes under matter. Okay, so law of conservation of mass. In the nature, universally, mass also, matter also cannot be created nor be destroyed in any of the process. In any of the process. So, suppose in cooking, I need a water and a wheat flour to make a dough. Finally, after rolling it, I put into the hot tawa to make a chapati. So many procedure. What are the things it combines? Water and wheat flour. And finally we get the new product, that is the chapati. Okay. So where does that matter gone? Nowhere. It is there. It is there. It will be there. Okay. So according to the conservation of mass, since the law of chemical combinations we are dealing, when the two things combine, to give the new result, then the masses of the things which are combined initially will be equal to the mass of the product that we get finally after combination. So it is not that only with the water and the flour, the rajma and the chawal. So it is applicable everywhere in every small and big chemical reactions. Okay. So here, suppose reactants is equal to the product in mass. The mass of the reactant is equal to the mass of the product according to this rule. Suppose A plus B gives C plus D as a product. So its weight and its weight, both mass will be equal. Understood? So suppose, take an example to make you understand. H2O, formation of water molecule. H2. As I told you, hydrogen doesn't exist independently. It exists in its molecular form. Two atoms of hydrogen combines to become a hydrogen molecule. Okay, then plus, same with the oxygen also. Oxygen also doesn't exist independently. It exists in its molecular formula, not in atomic form. So H2 plus O2 gives us H2O. So it's not total two atoms of hydrogen here and one atom of oxygen is here, but in the reactants 2. So let us balance it. Twice of H2O, if I put 2 here, now the reaction is balanced. Okay, 2 into 2, 4 atoms of hydrogen, and 2 into O, 2 atoms of oxygen. Now let us see sum up the weight of the hydrogen and oxygen. What is the atomic mass of hydrogen? 2 into, here also 2 into 1. 2 into 1. 1 plus 1, 2 atoms of hydrogen, and here oxygen 1 atom. So 2 atoms, so 2 into 8, that is 16 grams. Here 2 into 2, 4 grams. So total here 4 grams we are getting. So 4 plus 16. Finally, we are getting 20 grams of our reactants. 20 grams of reactants. And in the product, 2 into 1, 1 gram. 1 gram is the weight of hydrogen atom, and plus the weight of oxygen atom is 2. Weight of oxygen atom is 2. So 2 into 1, 2, and 2 plus 8, 10, and 2 into 10, 20 grams. So you can see here, I can give you many examples, but you can understand with this example only. 4 plus 16, 20 grams here in the reactant and there in the product also. Okay, so this is all about the law of conservation of mass. Now let us discuss the law of constant proportion. Law of constant proportion. Law of constant or definite proportion also you can say. Law of constant proportion, students, you can understand. Suppose when the atoms combines to give us molecule or and finally molecules to give us a particular compound. Okay, so how do they react with each other? What should be the number of one atom and the number of another atom? So they are combining. So that rule gives us with this, they will be always in definite proportion, constant proportion. Like water, you drink water at your home, you drink water, you have water at school also. So you can take the sample of water from home, take the sample of water from school, and we can make water in our laboratory also. So we will take the sample from the laboratory also. We can take the water sample from the river, from the waterfall, from the sea, from tap, anywhere we have collected the sample of water. Okay. So what will be the formula of the water what we have collected from home, the formula of water what we have collected from laboratory, the formula of water we have collected from stream, waterfall, river, sea, everywhere where the hydrogen and oxygen they are combining, they are going to form water molecule in a particular way, and that particular way is what? That is constant proportion. Okay, so this hydrogen and oxygen gives us H2O, so the H2O, how actually they are combining? See out here, 2 into 1, 2 into 1, 2 atoms of hydrogen always will be there, and plus the 1 atom of oxygen, 16, 1 atom of oxygen, the weight is 16. So it is actually written 2 into 2 is to 16. 2 is to 16. But if we consider 1 each, so taking the simplified form, 1 is to 8 it becomes. 1 is to 8 it becomes. So from wherever we are collecting the sample of the thing, the product, the molecule, the atoms which are getting reacted to get the product finally are in definite proportion. Okay, like carbon dioxide, if I write the proportion, the atomic mass of C is 12 grams, or suppose since I have to write in the ratio form, so I am not writing gram over here, and is to oxygen 16, so it will always be where? 3, how it will be? 3 4s are 12, 4 3s are 12 and 4 4s are 16. 16 into 2, 32 na? 16 2s are 32. So 8, 3, 4 3s are 12 and 4 8s are. 4 3s are and 4 8s are. So they are in the ratio 3 is to 8 whenever the carbon and the oxygen reacts with each other. Okay, to form the carbon dioxide molecule. Okay, so here in your book also it is given. Lavoisier along with the other scientists noted that many compounds were composed of 2 or more elements, and each such compound had the same element in the same proportions, irrespective of where the compound came from or who prepared it. Okay, so these things I have discussed only. So this is all about the law of chemical combinations, how the atoms combine, what are the rules. Please keep these things into mind. Thank you.